Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Sequoia Project podcast, the podcast dedicated to talking about the ins, outs, ups, and downs of business. We are on episode 15. My name is Coby, and I'm joined here by my co-host, Dale.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 15. Hopefully, you've been enjoying everything we've been spitting out the last 14 episodes. We're going to try and keep it rolling one more time.
That was way more high energy than when I did the last one after the, three fuck-ups.
Yeah. That's good. The energy is up. Let's roll. What are we talking about today?
We're going to be talking about what we would actually be doing if we didn't start business, which is a very fun topic because we were both in very different stages of life too, but different jobs.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think this is just a fun thing for anyone out there that comes across this and is listening and goes, this is fun to listen to, but I don't want to get into business. There is a life or a pathway that we could have taken that we never got in. So I'll be interested.
Here's our hopes and dreams that we never achieved.
Yeah, yeah. Kobe's younger than I am, so it'll be different for him. I mean, 22 years old.
I've still got time to fail.
Yeah. So do I. But,
you're fine.
Yeah.
Your fails are far more catastrophic than mine would be, though.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially my latest one, but we're not going to talk about that here.
Fuck.
Kobe is
I'm the latest failure.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to hear Kobe's perspective from it. He's 22, so obviously he's in a business super early. I mean, he's been in business 2 years already, so he was in at 20. And obviously I'm a bit more well-seasoned, being 30, so it'll be interesting to see where we think we would have ended up if we hadn't jumped into business. Do you want to kick it off, bro? Or you want me to?
Yeah. Well, I didn't realize that you were, what did you say, 23, 24 when you started your first business?
I would have been 23, yeah. Just turning 23.
That's crazy. Because we had a conversation the other night, quite a deep, heartfelt conversation. And I didn't realize how much I had achieved before you had. That's fucking insane information to have.
Yeah.
I mean, it just shows that anyone in any stage of life
too.
can do anything.
All it is kind of altering the choices that you make. But it's interesting because we were literally having that conversation and Kobe was like, "Oh, dude, I feel like I'm fucking falling behind," and I'm like, "Well, you're 2 years ahead of where I was when I first started," and just even that simple perspective, it's like, most 20-year-olds don't run a business, let alone run a business where they can pay themselves and take care of themselves to a point to run the business. And not be, working jobs and doing all that kind of stuff. Kobe was doing that when he was 20, 21. And, I was still trying to figure it all out when I was 20, 21. I think when I was 21, I lived in a van and was traveling around Australia, fucking living out of me van. Me and my sister's husband built a van out, decked it out with cupboards and cookers and all that kind of stuff. And I went and traveled around Australia and Kobe's starting businesses. So, he's sitting here saying, I don't feel like I'm far enough ahead. I'm like, mate, you're further ahead than what I was.
I'm nearly at that point. I'm like, I'll just go buy a van and fucking travel around. Look, I shoot weddings. I could just go live at the wedding spot for the day.
You could go anywhere, yeah. 100% you could actually. Would be a lot of fun as well. That was one of the best times of my life. But it's just funny. It's all about perspective. And when you're in it, you're going, shit, things don't happen quick enough. And I'm like, dude, I wasn't even started yet. So if you're one step ahead of where I was when I was 21 or 22, you're already killing it. But where do you think, if you didn't get into business, if we never met and you kind of were working at the gym, working at managing the gym and stuff like that, where do you think you would have naturally gone if business was just an avenue that was never on the table or not something you never thought about? Where do you think you would have?
Yeah. Well, when I finished school, actually, I wanted to go study. So I wanted to go into uni. I actually didn't need to finish my year 12. For anyone that's not Australian, we do, well, actually, I don't even know whether they do it outside of Victoria either, because you would have been different. You grew up in, is Queensland? No, that was nearly a fucking stupid question. I was like, is Queensland in Victoria? That was going to be the worst fucking question ever. Queensland's in Queensland.
Holy fucking shit.
But so you wouldn't have VCE or VCAL or anything like that. So our VCE, our Victorian Certificate of Education, that's our smart one. And then our VCAL is our tertiary trades and whatnot. So anyone that's going to go into TAFE or anything afterwards.
Right. Okay. We had a similar system that's called something different. Ours was OP. You get an OP score, which I don't even know what that fucking stands for because I never took it. But you get a score, and one is the best score you can get, which means you can go into whatever university you want, and if you get a shit score, you go to a shit school.
We got an ATAR, so it was out of 100.
Mm.
So
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
the closest to 100 you got, obviously, which is all of our school sacks and then our exams and all that sort of stuff too. They would all go towards our ATAR. So through 11 and 12, while we're doing our VCE, they would all go towards our ATAR at the end of year 12. I didn't get a good one
gotcha,
because
cool.
I chose not to do so many of my exams because I realized that I didn't even have to finish my VCE to go into what I wanted to do, which was audio technician. So I wanted to go in and be like the audio tech for live music events. So I wanted to study how to do all that and how to do like in studio recording for music and whatnot. That was my original goal when I finished school.
Right, okay.
Yeah, because for anyone who doesn't know, I am big on music. I can play drums, guitar, I can sing. I sing to Dale often on this podcast before we start. Mostly serenading.
If you've never watched the actual footage of the podcast, the segment introductions are just Coby singing.
Yeah, I have sung deep country music prior to. There are so many clips actually that we could probably get for BTS stuff of just stupid shit I do for you.
That is good. So yeah, he's an all-round musician.
Yeah, that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to go into music, which I think still at some point, once I have a lot of any kind of free time from freedom with money, I would still go into music sort of stuff. But then I went into the fitness industry because I hated myself. And that's how anyone gets into the fitness industry.
Good.
I did not like how I looked, so I obviously started training, and then I enjoyed that, and I turned 18, and then I got my first job at a gym. After selling alcohol in my little town, which you can imagine would have been great, I quit that job with a sticky note saying, get my shift covered, because they kept treating me bad. So I left a little sticky note on my roster, walked out. I don't think you knew that.
I did not know that. That's news to me.
So I was like, look, if you guys keep putting me on with no breaks, no one on with me to cover and everything like that, like our town is very big on drinking. I was like, I'm just going to walk. And they were like, yeah, whatever. So they did it. So I wrote a sticky note, stuck it on my roster to say, get my shifts covered, and walked out and never went back.
Nice.
And
cool.
Yeah, then started a new job in the fitness industry at a gym that was also not a great workspace. But that was when I realized that I wanted to do personal training. So I went into studying. And honestly, if I hadn't have started a business in here, I would have gone in and completed my Cert 4. I have my Cert 3. So I would have completed my studies in Cert 4 and gone into personal training. That would have been my goal. I still write programs for people if they ask now, help them out with their like calories and whatnot if they were to achieve goals. And that's kind of where I think I would have stuck in, because I do enjoy the fitness industry. I'm still around it with like Nutrition Warehouse and whatnot. And I don't think I could go into any other kind of role, especially after like managing a gym for so long. It's weird. I don't know. I think the fitness industry is where I very much sat. And although it wasn't creative of sorts, which I like being around creatives, I did like art and all that sort of stuff all through school. I probably would have sat in that sort of fitness industry with a want. It's always like a want to help people. Especially because like my own personal journey, and you would have gone through it as well while training for Machu Picchu and then eventually Everest, of course.
Yeah.
You would have had to go through such a long, lengthy process to make sure your body was like up to par and physically fit and you weren't going to die.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure. I actually went the other way and overtrained for Machu Picchu. I mean, there's a story for another time, but I was like, I'm just going to lose as much weight as possible because I don't want to have to carry it up a mountain. And I went and lost like 15 kilos, and then I got up there and I was like, oh, I probably didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
So now I'm putting it back on. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think the fitness industry was just somewhere where, especially because of how like personal it was and being able to help people and help people with their confidence and all that sort of stuff, which eventually, like with my photography as well, I'd love to go into education, and obviously we're here with the Sequoia project. Obviously helping someone and just people is a big thing in both of our values. So
Yeah.
I think, yeah, the fitness industry is where I would have stuck. I would have gone to personal training or continued in management for gyms and then kept sort of going up. I mean, personal training ends up being your own business anyway.
Mm.
So, yeah, probably stuck around gym management or anything. I reckon I would have done until I got bored and then switched up because I have that level of ADHD where I can't stay and do the same thing.
Do the same thing. Yeah, I know. It pisses me off.
Oh, you love it.
But
you love the challenge.
You're a pretty ambitious kid though. So like I can understand exactly what you're saying. Like I think you would have done that, and even if you ran your own business as a personal trainer and made good money and stuff like that, I think you still that plateau of like, all right, this is what I do every day. I go and speak to the same people every day. I go and do the same thing every day. I think you still would have looked for something else. So if you went down that pathway, and let's say you were a PT making good money, mid six figures or something like that, where do you think your next aspiration would have gone from there? Like, what's the step up from there?
See, I would have.
Become
I would like
one of those V-shred ads on Facebook, buy my program kind of guys.
Fuck no. I would have started a gym, but that's also starting a business. I still want to start a gym.
Yeah.
But
no, that's fine. And like, this is just if we didn't go into what we went now. It's not that you would never be able to start a business. I would have always gone
into starting a business, which is stupid. I've always considered it. But like anywhere that I went, I started in retail, and then I got up to like managing registers and all that sort of stuff. I'm like, this is great. I want more. So I went to another job and then built up in that. And then I went to another job and built up to that. And then I went to the gym and built up to management, which I would have stuck in if I wasn't me. And I would have just kept growing and everything because it was a really good workplace to work for. And like you would have gone from manager to like area manager to like state manager. And you like there was so much room to grow in that job. Like I probably would have worked my ass off to try it if I was so content with this natural like day-to-day grind. Like the pay was great. Like as a 20-year-old manager, getting that kind of pay was insane. I just was never happy with staying in one place and pretty much having someone tell me what I meant to do every day. So then I got you to tell me what I meant to do every day.
Yeah, exactly. You just traded it for a different kind of oppression.
Yeah, but on my terms instead. Because then you'll tell me what to do, and I'll go, I'm not doing that. And then I'll come back to you and I'll be like, I should have done that. That's my bad. That's on me.
Okay, cool. That's good. And I think, funnily enough, I think you as I know you as a person, I think always would have ended up, even if you had pursued a career, you would have ended up at a point where it's like, hey, well, I do this a lot. So, and I'm very good at it. I want to take that into doing it for myself.
Even personal training, I do like online PT and all that sort of stuff. And then it's like, well, now that I'm online and also in person, I can't take on anymore. I'll just take on some more personal trainers underneath me, and then they can help out with that. And then again, you have employees and you've started a business. So it's literally the only natural progression.
Yeah, for sure. I think
for me at least,
it would. Yeah. I honestly, I said this from day one, like from whenever I started helping people with their businesses and stuff, and they're like, oh, you probably think if I work a job, I'm an idiot and stuff like that. Actually, no, I don't. And I've said this on the podcast before. If I had have found like 7-8 years ago, if I had have found a job that I loved, but I just didn't I just wanted to be at every day, I never would have done any of this. So I don't think
I really enjoy the gym. So
yeah. If I found a working environment that I just thought was the best thing ever, I would have been more than happy to stay there and work my way up in the company and like get promoted and do all that kind of stuff. Would have been more than happy to do it. But I just never found that. Stress. Oh, it is. It's so much less stress, and if you enjoy doing it, and the risk is so low, it's like fantastic. Go nuts. If I could get paid well enough for my time and be a part of a business where I was so instrumental that they were like, dude, if you want to take 4 weeks off, take 4 weeks off. It's all good. Like you can work from home if you want for a month. Like if I was in that kind of environment, I would never would have left it. The only thing that when I left my last job and I was like, oh, I'm going to start a business, the only reason I did that was because when I looked at the boxes that my next job would have to tick, no one was ever going to give it to me. I was like, I want time freedom. I want location freedom. I want to be able to grow, as quickly as possible if I bring results. And no one was going to sign that contract for me. So I was like, well, I'll just have to build the fucking thing myself. So that's the only reason I went into business in the first place, is because with the experience that I had, being pretty young at the time and not having that much experience in any other industry outside of engineering, it was like no one was going to sign that contract and be like, yeah, I'll give you $100,000 a year to work from wherever you want and do all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
No one was going to do it. So I was like, I'll have to build one of those. But yeah, I think for me, what I would have done if I didn't start a business when I did, I think I probably would have gone down the line of what can I earn the most money doing with my current skill set.
Mm.
And I looked into a stint of working in Antarctica because they send fabricators and welders and boilermakers and engineers down to Antarctica to manufacture stuff. And I was like, that kind of mixes my lust for adventure and a high income kind of thing. So I would have looked into something like that. I actually applied for it a while ago, but I had glandular fever at the time. So when I went to do a physical or medical, they were like, we can't send you down there because your immune system's compromised. So at that time I couldn't go and do it, but later on maybe I could have done. So that would have been something I pursued. I would have pursued, or even to a point when I came out of my technical training as a welder, a lot of people said that you can go and do underwater welding off of like oil rigs and offshore and stuff like that. And that kind of mix of adventure and work, and I mean the pay rate was something crazy. It was like $380 an hour, and this is back when I was earning $25 an hour. So I was like, that would have been sick. So I think I would have naturally pursued something like that. Go down, work in Antarctica, go down, work in the mines, work in underwater or something like that, where it was like adventure and work combined. But again, the money would have to be insane because I was so unhappy doing what I was doing. At least if this way I was unhappy, I'd be unhappy and paid.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I think that's what I would have pursued
skill
from there.
set that you could have done. It's shit like that.
Yeah, it's just a hard technical, trade kind of skill set. So very easy to kind of look at avenues for that. But I would have used that because I wouldn't have wanted to go back to day one and start again learning something else. And then I think I honestly would have done that until I could reinvest in such a way, probably not in businesses and stuff like that now, like I do now, because I didn't know business then. But I think I would have looked for investments to kind of go, cool, I'm making good money. I'll reinvest in a portion of that for the next 5 years and then start to make some passive income doing that.
Property or like anything like
that. Stock or something like that. Free myself up a little bit. I think that's the next logical would have been for me. And that's if business was never on the table. Like it was never an option. I think that's what I would have done. Sacrificed the next 5 years to start building up a little, passive income cycle and then just kind of expand that and give myself the freedom that I wanted. But yeah, probably now as I look at it, if I think about that path, the best thing would have been to do would go and actually do that thing, get very good at it, become an underwater welder or whatever it is, and then actually go back to guys that were welding in TAFEs and things like that and become a recruiter for big companies like that and go, hey, I'll go and get guys to get the certification to come here and I'll bring you good guys. You give me a cut of the salary and we'll call it almost like almost recruitment. I think that's where I would have naturally led to because I wouldn't have wanted to weld underwater for the rest of my life. I would have just been like, yep, I know you guys are always looking for guys. They have a shelf life. I'll go and get some new ones and train some new ones.
And then you just become a scuba diver instructor.
Yeah, then I'm just, mate, I'm all tanned up and Mediterranean and everyone loves me and they call me Ruben.
Yeah, exactly.
You for scuba? For scuba, Ruben?
I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah, I think that's where I would have gone. And I think that the reason why that topic is cool is because if someone's listening to this and they're like, oh, I'm on the fence. I like my job, but business would be cool. Is there are ways, there's another world where this would have worked for both of us where we wouldn't have rushed out and done this. So if you're in that environment and you think, this is probably as good as it gets, then you don't have to start it today or tomorrow. And even the first lesson that we talked about here is Coby started earlier than I did. Hopefully by the time he's my age, he'll be a lot further than where I am now. But hopefully. If you start at 25, you start at 32, if you start at 55, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you can start at any time. You don't need money or anything like that. I think it.
No, 100%.
Should have started eating things.
Coby's got his cat on his lap for anyone that's not watching this.
She's here in every single podcast. Oh, big stretch. She looks so pissed off.
It calms him down.
It does, actually. You ever patted a cat? No, you hate cats. Actually, to be fair, that's so fucking dumb.
Oh, dude, that's just, to me, like when you see a dog, like you come home from work, a dog is like stoked to see you. When you come home from work, a cat is like, feed me.
Yeah, give me food.
Yeah. I don't like, I'm a big dog guy.
Speaking of reinvestment, though, well, first of all, I wanted to
Yes.
say before the cat interrupted, I think working a fucking job is great because ever since going back into a job just to have that kind of mindless money to make, oh my God, the stress is so much less, and you just know you're going to get paid for doing fucking almost the same thing every day. Like, it's insane. If job is your life, fucking do it. Especially do something
Oh.
that's like gives you decent money and can, cover the cost of living. Like, I was earning like $36 an hour at 20 years old as a manager, which was fine. Like, still getting like 60 grand a year. I was living at home. Like, it didn't matter. I had savings and everything. Yeah. Then I started a business and I have no savings now. And I'm like having to build everything back up because I put a lot into, well, I obviously had to lose the job because they closed down, but then I put like all that into my living and everything and had to make this work. And now it's building it back up. The stress of like the lack of stress of knowing that money's just going to be coming in is incredible.
Yeah, 100%.
This stress of being like, where the fuck is the next paycheck coming in is, it's obviously not for everyone. I've had more breakdowns than I can even count, being like, I'm gonna just fucking, it's in my best interest if I die by Friday. And then financially, it is in my best interest.
That's good. But that is the swings and roundabouts of being a business owner. Is
exactly
you won't walk it. Yes, the stress is a lot lower in a job. Absolutely. Like the money gets made at the top and it gets brought down. And that's not your job to worry about where the money comes from. It's your job to be that cog in the system that produces that top end income. So they pay you for that. So it's a lot less stress, but at the same time, you're not going to walk into work tomorrow and someone's going to say, I'm going to give you a contract for $150,000 this year. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to earn that on top of your income. Where if you run a business and you start to explore different opportunities and your skill set gets out there and people go, hey, that's the guy I need, there is that possibility. So you take the stability risk you take because the upsides can be so much higher. And there are people that are for that and there are people that aren't for that. It just really depends on what your appetite with risk is. But like I said, if I had a steady job in an environment that I love the people I work with, and I was doing interesting work, probably never would have started it because the security and the upside, you can make $1 million by getting a salary for 250 grand and working for 4 or 5 years. You can do that just as much as you can make $1 million in business in 4 or 5 years.
And you can still get your passive income from investments and all that sort of stuff. You just need to be smart with your money.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no, you can achieve everything you want to achieve in any vehicle you want. Just has to be the right vehicle for you. And even compared to some of my friends and stuff like that. Yeah, you need to get a license. First thing you need to do is get a license. But like there are friends that I have that just look at what I do and they just go, man, like it's great, like it's fantastic, it works, it's brilliant, but it's just not for me, and that's absolutely fine. And they like their jobs and they like the security of their jobs, and that's fantastic. But my appetite for risk is just a little bit bigger, so I decided to go down this path. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But so that's why if you're working a job and you listen to this and you go, I like my job, you can keep liking your job. Don't worry, you can make tons of money doing that. We might even do a podcast on how to get promoted and things like that within your job.
We might just go get a job.
It's the same recipe. We might just go get a job. We might get someone to see if they can pay us to do this podcast.
Just go work a job or just go work retail or something. Whole podcast. I worked in a coffee shop for the day. I could work at a radio station. That'd be sick.
I think you could. You've been on radio. Did anyone know that?
No, I don't think they did. I've been on radio and the news, actually. No, I applied for a job as a sales person at ABC Radio before I got the nutrition warehouse job.
Wow.
And I got invited into an interview, so they actually really liked what I did.
Yeah, cool.
They were like, oh, like, are you free for coffee? And I went, no, I'm so sorry. I'm not, actually. I don't want to do this. I just... put it up to see if I could get it. And apparently I could. So,
well, you should go in and sell on this podcast, bro. And then we'll be on ABC.
We should. Oh my God. That's our new segment. All right. I've got goals for the day. We're ending the podcast here.
Yeah, we're on with ABC. We're on with ABC. We got a network deal.
Else that we're doing. But no, reinvestments. I asked you at the start of the podcast. You said you want to talk about it on the podcast. I got to stop playing with things. I got to put things down. I got to keep my hands free. what was you've made some money, to say the
Uh-huh.
least. What was your first big investment that you purchased, the one that's for yourself, that after you started making money, after you realized I have a
Yeah.
little bit of money, I can buy something cool?
Yeah, mine was weird, and I would not advise anyone doing this. Um, I it was not. I mean, it was an investment, but it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
into. Well, it was an investment in my life rather than a financial investment. So let's just cover that real quick. The first thing
Okay.
I did when I started making money was I turned around to my missus and said, "Don't do anything. Like, don't worry about it. I'll just take care of it." Which was a gift for me because then anytime I had free time, I knew my favorite person was going to be there. So I was like, great, like you're here. So it's all good. It's a great investment for my lifestyle. But it's not financial advice. It costs a lot more to support two
Okay.
people than it does one. That was the first
Yeah.
thing that I did. Um, and then even after that, where I was kind of like, oh shit, like I'm making good money, good enough money, more money than like it was a significant amount of money to me. Um, I remember the first thing I ever did that gave me one of the best feelings in the world is at the time I was working like 100-hour weeks were like minimum, like that was like an average
Mm.
week, and I hadn't actually seen my girlfriend at the time in so like I never saw her. I was just working 24/7, and I took one Saturday morning off to take her to the cafe, and the first time I realized I was actually making money is when I went to a cafe that we'd been to like 20 times. And I looked
And
at
you
the
just
menu and
bought it.
I was like, just bought the whole cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been, oh, jeez, that would have been cool. But no, I wasn't even at that point yet. But I just looked at the menu, and after it hadn't actually registered in my mind, I look at numbers now for the business that were so much larger than the numbers on the menu.
Yeah, I feel
And
like $7
I,
for a coffee seems pretty fair now.
yeah, and like when I used to go to places like that, I used to be like, oh my God, this breakfast is going to cost $80. Like, we don't need an $80 breakfast. And
Mm.
now I was at this place and I looked at the menu because I hadn't been out in so many months. I looked at the menu, I was like, holy shit, like we can get where we want.
Yeah.
And like it was just this really cool first moment of like, oh, the thing I'm doing actually produces money. And I don't have to stress about, a milkshake being $9 anymore. So that was the first moment when I realized, and then I went and did a bunch of dumb shit. Please don't do this. If you're a car guy or a bike guy, please
I was gonna
learn from
say,
my
what's the
mistakes. I
first
went and bought everything.
materialistic thing you bought?
Yeah, the first thing I went out and bought for myself was not even just one car. I went and bought a bunch of them, a bunch of bikes, and went and
Oh,
did all this
yeah.
dumb shit. And I'll tell you right now from experience, if you're listening to this and you are a bike guy, and you like cars as well, it's really not what you think it's going to be. And I hope you experience it for yourself. I'm not telling you not to experience it. I'm just saying try and listen to my mistakes because this is what you'll experience. Is I went and bought so many bikes and cars that every month of the year, at least one registration was due. And what you think is, I'll walk out into the shed or the garage and I'll go, what am I going to drive to work today? And it'll be this like huge thing. Yeah, when you got like 10 of them, you have to, oh, I want to drive that car. You got to pull one car out to get the other car out. And then
Yeah.
you're like, it's taking me 20 minutes to get on the road to go to work. And you're like, that's a lot less fun. And then you got to service them. And then something breaks on all of them all the time. And then it's a different season. So you can't drive one of them because why would you drive a convertible in the middle of winter? And it's just not as fun as you think it's going
Isn't
to
there
be.
also like a
And
luxury car tax now too?
yeah, there is as well. The good thing is like a lot of I wasn't buying a lot of these firsthand as well. There was a couple that I did, but not a lot of them, because I understand what vehicles are, and you drive them off the lot, they lose value and all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
So, yeah, it was more so a thing of it. I thought it was going to be everything I ever wanted, and if 17-year-old me had seen my garage, he would have just like freaked out. He would have jumped. He would have just lost his fucking mind.
I'm
But
on the spot.
at the same time, I was like, man, I was servicing vehicles left, right, and center. I was taking vehicles down to get service left, right, and center. I was under warranties for other vehicles. I couldn't repair stuff myself on some stuff. It was this nightmare of constantly, indicators, broken on this. I need a new bulb for this. I need it. And it was just like, in the end, I was like, I don't even fucking want this stuff anymore.
Invest in a big garage and your own personal mechanic then.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. And I actually said to my missus, I said, I'm not doing this again until I have a 20-car garage and a dude that just walks around and services them 24/7. And that's the only time I'm interested in doing this again. So I went and bought a bunch of vehicles and stuff. I'm a car guy. I'm a bike guy. So I went and did all that. I bought myself a racing simulator. I bought myself all this stuff that I did not need. And then I just had there wasn't enough time to enjoy it all. And it just sat there and got old. And I was like, and dusty. And I was cleaning cars every 2 days and getting people to clean cars and detail cars. And it was just, yeah, it wasn't as cool as I thought it was. And it was a really good lesson for me, because it was like, until you've experienced something, you don't know how good it will be, for sure, but you also don't know all the little pitfalls and things that won't be as exciting about it because you've never experienced it. And if you had said to me, Dale, you can go and buy every car and bike you've ever wanted and you can have them all simultaneously, I would have been like, that sounds like the best thing ever. But then when you realize, yeah, everything has a shelf life, tires get old, fuel gets stale, you kind of go, well, I can't drive all these things and keep them all running realistically. I've got to run a business still, and I've got to see my friends and I've got to do all this kind of stuff. It's basically a full-time job managing a workshop like that.
Yeah. See, well, I'm 22 years old, and at the start of this year, I purchased a motorbike because I had some money.
Yep.
And I think that was the best fucking decision of my life.
Yeah, one is great. One or even two is fantastic. One for the dirt, one for the road. That's fantastic. You don't need 4. I can tell you right now, you don't need 4.
I mean, you need a dirt bike, you need a track bike, you need a road bike. Like, already that's 3 there. And then you need one that's unnecessarily expensive. That's 4.
Yeah, well, that's basically the recipe. But you only have one ass, so you can only sit on one of them at a time. And when your business is doing good, but it's not passive yet, you don't get a shit ton of time to ride them all. But one motorcycle, absolutely. Like, treat yourself, enjoy the little things, and use the little things as well. That's another thing that I learned is, when you buy nice stuff, you tend to go, especially when you never had, not that I never had nice stuff growing up, but I'd never bought really nice stuff for myself before. You tend to go, ooh, I'm not going to wear that. That'll get scratched or whatever it is. If you're going to do it and enjoy it. Because the amount of stuff that I bought and sold, and I never even used it because I was so worried about it getting scratched, or I couldn't park it at the shopping center or whatever. Buy it and use it. If you're going to invest in it and invest in your happiness, know that it's not something that's probably going to make you money, but smiles per hour. That's what you want to be focused on.
Well, the first actual real thing that cost me a bit of money was this year, and I saved up for it with my own personal money. None of it was business funds or anything like that, which was taking my partner to a concert and staying in Melbourne. Really nice. Like in a really nice part of Melbourne. And it was in a luxury hotel. They changed our sheets every day. That was a new experience for me. Silk sheets, an actual queen-sized bed. We had like a little laptop nook. We Ubered to the concert, Ubered back. We went out for drinks, all that sort of stuff. And I didn't worry about money at all there. And I was like, this is a fucking crazy experience. We got home, we got to sit in the spa, and the heated pool. Our room had a spa bath. Like, this is fucking crazy. And even then, which I talk to her now, she's like, that is probably one of our most amazing experiences that we've had since knowing each other.
Yeah,
and since having money, like any kind of money, that was so cool. And even then, that wasn't a lot of money, but it was still, for me, I had to save up a decent amount, and it was planned for months and months. And that was where all my personal, which could have gone towards my personal living expenses, or like any personal things that I put aside to buy for myself, that was towards that. And it was cool. It was great. It was an unreal experience, and now I'm addicted.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was just going to say, is like, when you start to taste that stuff, you start to go, oh shit, like, you can do stuff like this. Like, I remember when I started actually making money and shit like that, I didn't even know what you could do with it, because I just never had enough of it personally to be like, oh wow, like, this is on the cards now. And then you experience little shit like that, and you're like, that's how you do it. That's how you want to be doing it.
It was not like fucking financially stable at minimum. So actually experiencing things since becoming an adult, I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I can go out with my friend and grab a meal once a week, and that's not going to break the bank. I can experience something like that once or twice a year. Like, that's so cool. So much of that shit as a kid, like, fuck, you saw the whole of what we got for her birthday, and it was just fucking anime figures. And if anyone's watching the podcast, I could turn here, and that's a full collection of a lot of my stuff, besides everything back here too. So big nerds. Obviously collectibles and stuff is something I enjoy. Dale Dale decided to purchase Lambos and Lamborghinis instead.
No, nothing like that. I spend my money on plane tickets rather than collectibles. That's
yeah, exactly. Experiencing the world, actual experiences over anything else. This podcast got so off track.
Yeah, it did a lot. But anyway, it's a good conversation. But yeah, I basically, my thing was not an investment. Both of my things were just, I was invested, like I said, in my relationship and in my lifestyle, but there was no financial benefit.
You got to experience it though.
Yeah, got to experience it. And that's why I said I'm not going to discourage anyone from experiencing it. It's a cool experience, but you do learn a lot in those experiences. Yeah, and the smarter you are, the earlier, the better off you'll be in the end. And that's kind of where I got to, which was, I could live that lifestyle every day now, but if I ever just wanted to pack it all up and not worry about anything, then I'd have this huge bill over my head. So my whole thing is just keep doing it until you can do that every day and you don't have to worry about anything ever again. And then at that point,
you can retire and take out your nice cars and all that sort of shit because you don't have your business to worry about.
You don't worry about scratching them up and all that shit. So
no, because you're going to die in like 12 years anyway.
Mate, you'll be lucky if you get 12. If you're my age.
True. Old bastard. Like I said, it's in my best interest if I die by Friday. Yeah. Well, my job is to prolong that as long as possible. Damn. Fuck. Foiled again.
Sweet. Well, I think that's everything we need to say. I think it's a good question. We should actually do some more stuff like that. Ask some more questions about what we bought and what we did and how we do it and how stupid we are, because maybe someone won't go and buy.
Everyone should learn from our mistakes.
You ask that question. Yes, absolutely.
Or someone's going to go, that sounds like the fucking life that I want. And someone's going to go out and buy 20 cars.
Go nuts, honestly. Go nuts. You'll learn as quickly as I did. Oh, shit, this isn't as fun as it is, but as fun as it sounded.
Just come back to Dale when you realize you need to make the money back.
Yeah, it's still fun. It is, honestly, it's a fucking blast. But it's short-lived and you start to realize what actually matters in life. And it changes your perspective very quickly when you think everything I ever wanted is right in front of me, and it's not how I imagined it. It's a very good lesson.
So to sum this all up, stay in a job if you want. Don't start a business if you want. Do whatever you want. Your life is, you're all going to die at the end anyway. Your life doesn't matter. Yep. Just live your life to whatever you want to do and what your best lifestyle is. If you want to start a business, start a business. We're here to help. If you don't start a business. We're still here to help. We'll help you get your promotions and all that sort of stuff.
100%.
Don't spend your money on big cars, or do. We don't care. Just be smart. Yeah. And come to us. We'll help you out.
This is a terrible episode for consumer advice.
Do whatever you want. We're here to help you make it smart.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, live whatever lifestyle you want, and if you want to save a little bit of time, come and contact us, and we'll help you the best we can.
That's what we're just going to change the description to. Live your life. If you fuck up, let us fix it.
Yeah. Or if you don't want to fuck up, we'll try and help you fix it before you do.
Exactly. So, if you guys enjoyed the episode, everything's at the bottom. Yeah. Oh, sorry, you usually do this part.
I usually do this part. Everything you need is in the link below, just like Coby said before he stole my sign-out job. Ask questions, comment, do whatever you need to do. There, you can find us on Instagram and all sorts of stuff. Join the group if you want to ask more questions about more business. It's cheap, it's good, and we'll chat to you soon.
Talk soon. Episode 16 next time.